Thank you for viewing this Capital Magnet Fund Performance Report completion training. This segment will cover rental project reporting. We'll start off this training logged into the Awards Management Information System, or AMIS. From the home page, we will navigate to the CMF Performance Report by clicking on the Performance Report tab. From there, we will navigate to the applicable report. If you do not see the performance reports displayed in the recent list, go ahead and click the Go button to retrieve a full list of performance reports. This link will take us to the performance report detail page, which includes a number of performance measures related to your award performance. In this demonstration, we will not go through all of these tests, but rather focus on the creation and reporting of rental projects. To start off, we can either hover or click on this projects link. If we click, it will take us down to a projects related list, where we will then click New Project. From the record type dropdown, we will select rental housing, which will take us to a new project page. You may recall that all fields with the red bar next to them indicate that they are required. We'll proceed by entering all required information. This project is named Rental 1. Performance report, that information is automatically filled in, so we will leave that as is. If you are a 2018 recipient with a requirement to make an investment in a disaster area, and this project is within one of those areas, go ahead and select the 2018 disaster area checkbox. Moving along to the project detail section, from the project type, we will select the applicable option. This project happens to be multifamily, new development, primary financing type, pre-development financing is being provided. If you know the number of construction jobs, go ahead and enter those in here. You will select whether other CDFI fund program funds are being used in the project. In this case, no. Enter other sources of federal funding, if applicable, and whether low-income housing tax credits are being invested into this project. In this case, yes. Moving along to the use of CMF award section, we will enter the amount of committed CMF investment. For this project, we will commit $100,000 of our CMF award. In the program income section, we will report any commitments of program income as applicable. In this case, we are only committing the CMF award, not program income, so we will leave those fields blank. Next, we will report our projected unit count by income category. For this particular project, we do not anticipate any units that will be restricted to extremely low income families, 50 very low income units, 50 low income units, and no other eligible, and no market rate units, which would be reported in non-eligible families. In the next few sections, we are projecting our eligible project cost. First, we will report eligible project cost by recipient level leverage. For some recipients, this is a performance metric that is outlined in the assistance agreement. For 2019 and more recent recipients, while this is not a performance metric, it is a data point that information is still being collected on. For recipient level leverage, you will enter the investment of the CMF award, any program income, or enterprise level capital. In this case, the CMF investment is the only source of recipient level leverage, so we will enter $100,000 into this field. Next, we will report the eligible project cost by the source. first breaking them down by eligible and non-eligible, and looking at the eligible project costs a little more closely by third-party and related and public and private sources. For this project, we will keep the numbers simple and round and say it's a $1 million development. So all 1 million of those development costs are eligible. So 900,000 of them are third-party private. That could be the LIHTC equity, loan from a private bank, and so forth. The $100,000 CMF investment will be entered in third-party public. Now that we have broken out our $1 million in eligible project costs by source, we must break them out once again by the income category that they are supporting. For this particular development, all of the units are similar and have equal finishes and they're equivalent in size. So we will evenly break out those $1 million in eligible project costs between our very low income and low income units. So we're projecting 0 for extremely low income, other eligible and non-eligible families, and then we will evenly break out the eligible project costs between very low income and low income families, 500,000 each. So once again, we are projecting $1 million in eligible project costs. In this section, we broke that $1 million up by the source, our public and private sources, and then once again, we broke them up by the income category of units those $1 million in eligible project costs are supporting. Now that we have entered all required information, we will hit save to save this project record. At the top, we receive confirmation that the project has been saved. You will notice this warning flag here indicating that no project locations have been added. To accommodate scattered site projects, the project locations are entered on a separate section. If we click or hover over the project locations link, we will be able to add project locations. Now on the project location page, we will enter all required information. Site 1, all of our projected 100 units will be at this location. Additionally, we will be entering the $100,000 that was committed to this project, indicating that all 100,000 is at this location. Next, we will enter in a location, an address. This project is at 123 Olive Avenue in Sunnyvale, California. The project coordinates fields, you can leave those blank. Typically, the system will generate those automatically overnight. Great. We receive confirmation that the project location has been saved, and we'll return back to the project record. If this is our only project to report, we must next create an annual project report before we are able to submit the performance report for the reporting year. To do so, we will hover or click on the CMF Project Annual Reports link, and then create new annual report. An annual report is created on each rental project for every reporting year. For the project status at fiscal year end, this project was committed. And because tenants have not moved in, the project has not started its 10-year affordability period, we will indicate that the project is still an investment. Moving along to the project date section, we will enter the date the funds were committed, but we will leave the other dates blank as we have not dispersed any CMF capital into this project. For the CMF disbursement amount through fiscal year end, we will enter 0. Type of the disbursement, when we do finally disperse, it will be debt, so we will enter as such. But once again, for disbursement status, we will report that this disbursement has not yet been dispersed. It is only committed. When we do disperse, an anticipated interest rate of 3% is projected. Eligible activity, this relates back to the assistance agreement and the activities that are approved for a given award. In this case, it is affordable housing, and our stage of investment is initial. For the next section, you report program income, both earnings and disbursements as necessary. For this project, we have not received any program income or dispersed any into this project, so those fields can be left blank for now. Where we entered projected sources of recipient level leverage and eligible project costs, here on the annual report, final or actual values are listed. For this project, we have only made a commitment. We have not dispersed any funds. So at this time, there are no eligible project costs to report. In the next section, rental units that are completed are reported. While we anticipate producing 50 very low income units and 50 low income units, those units have not been completed, so we will leave these fields blank, or you may enter zeros as well. The next section is where occupancy is reported, but once again, we do not have completed units, so these fields may be left blank or zeros can be entered. With all required information being entered, we will save the annual report, and we will receive confirmation that the project annual report has been saved. Next, we will return to the CMF project record. We now will receive confirmation through this green checkbox that the annual report has been created. Before proceeding on to submitting the performance report, I would like to point out 2 reports that are available. From the project record, you will notice a project annual report. If you click this link and download the Excel-based attachment, you will receive information from the information that was entered on the project annual report. In this attachment, you can see the annual report information from year to year. If there were multiple years, those would show up here. But all of the information that was just entered on the annual report, we now have downloaded in an Excel-based format. This is a project level report, so it will only provide information here on this for this particular project. If we return to the performance report detail page, there is an additional report, rental project report, in which we can download information for all of our rental projects. For this award, we only have 1 project at this time, but we will go ahead and download this report to review the information. Here on the rental project report, we can see that our rental project is committed, type of project we have reported, our commitment date, and any other information that has been entered for the project, such as the commitment amount and the disbursement status. If any failed performance indicators show up on your performance report, this tool is a useful way to review all of the performance information for each project and identify any errors. Returning back to AMIS, we have now entered our project and created an annual report. So we will proceed by generating the scorecard. Typically, the scorecard does take a moment or two to load, so please be patient. Now that the scorecard is loaded, you will have a high-level view of the awards compliance across various performance measures. In the event that a non-compliance does pop up, please provide an explanation as to why that metric is a non-compliance, or return to the performance information to make adjustments. Once you are satisfied with the performance scorecard, you may proceed by submitting the report. If you have any questions, the service request is the best way to reach out to the CDFI fund. To submit a service request, from the toolbar here in AMIS, select the Service Request tab. From the Service Request homepage, select Create New Service Request. For the program type, select Capital Magnet Fund. Enter your requested due date. Here is where you will enter or search for the award number. If your organization has multiple awards, please do proceed with selecting the appropriate award. This will make it easier for the CDFI fund to review the information related to your request. For the status and service origin, leave those to the default values of new and web. You may then proceed by selecting the priority of the request as low, medium, or high. Proceed by entering a subject and description, and next you are ready to submit the request. On the CDFI Fund website, a comprehensive compliance reporting manual is available. As mentioned, a service request is the best way to reach out to the CDFI Fund. However, you may also reach out to the CDFI Fund via telephone or email address using this information. Thank you for taking the time to review this compliance reporting training.